The image was completed by the spots and pimples on his face and his dry, flaking lips, the result of endless coffee and cigarettes. He had stopped shaving because of his acne-ridden skin. Upset, he jerked himself free of Kamran's hold and tried to get away without a glance at the mirror. "You look absolutely despicable," cursed. Cursed was a word that Kamran often used, but Salar had never felt it so keenly as he did now. He was incensed. Yes, despicable and cursed. So what? He stood defiantly in front of Kamran. "When I'm telling you that I do not take drugs, you should believe me." "Believe you? Huh." Sarcasm dripped from Kamran's tone. Teeth clenched in fury, Salar continued to clear up the room without a word. "Are you attending classes at the university?" Salar felt a warning bell ring. "I am." Kamran was not satisfied. "Come with me to the hospital. I want you to have a complete checkup." "If this is what you've come for, it is better you return. I'm not a kindergarten child. I can look after myself." Kamran did not reply. He joined Salar in putting things in order. Salar breathed a sigh of relief. He thought that this argument had come to an end, but he was mistaken. Kamran extended his stay in New Haven by a week. During this period, Salar attended classes regularly. Kamran, on the other hand, met with Salar's friends and his professors. He learnt from Salar's friends of his failure in the semester. This was a shock for Kamran. Anything could be expected of Salar, but to fail so poorly when, till lately, he had been breaking academic records and topping the university. This time, Kamran did not discuss anything with Salar. Instead, he called up his father in Pakistan and briefed him on the situation. Once again, the earth slipped away from under Sikandar Azman's feet. Salar was maintaining his old record. Every couple of years, he presented his father with a new set of problems. The Hashim Mubin and Imama business was about that old now. "Don't talk to him about this now," suggested Kamran. "The university is going to close down for the holidays, so call him home to Pakistan for a while. Then, Mummy should accompany him back and stay here till he completes his studies." Sukinder followed Kamran's advice. A few days before the vacation commenced, he arrived in New Haven. The sight of Salar left Sukinder with knots in his stomach, but he did not argue with him. He simply asked Salar to come home for the holidays. Salar made excuses about studies and classes, but Sukinder ignored his demurral and booked his seat for the flight home. Against his will, Salar was brought back to Pakistan. It was 1 a.m. when they reached Pakistan. Sukinder and Tayyeba retired to their room. He went to his room. He was looking at it after nearly 1.5 years. Everything was as he had left it. He changed, switched off the light, and lay down. He had slept during the flight, so he did not feel sleepy now. Perhaps it was also the time difference. "Looks like I will gradually become an insomniac," he said, as he lay in the dark room. Tossing and turning for some time, he sat up. Then he went to the window and drew the curtains open. Across the wide lawn was Hashim Mubin's house on the other side. Salar had never really taken notice of that house in all these years, but now he surveyed the building by the lights from the first floor. The memories came flooding back. He drew the curtains shut. "Were Wasim's folks able to find Imama?" he asked Nasira the next day. She gave him a doubtful look. "No, G, no trace of her. They looked everywhere, but there was no trace of her. They still suspect you, do you know? Salma Bibi curses you." Salar kept staring at her. "The police questioned all the house servants too, but never did I utter a word. They also sacked me and my daughter, but they called us back later on. They keep asking me about you. Perhaps they re-employed us so that I could pass on news about your house to them. But, gee, I make excuses and get away with it." Nasira went on, extending her tale. "Is the police still searching for her?" Salar interjected. "Yes, sir, they are still looking. I don't know much because they keep these things from the servants. They don't mention Imama Bibi before us, but one catches snippets of conversation. Salar, Saab, don't you know anything about Imama Bibi? Nasira asked quite suddenly. How should I know? He fixed his gaze at her. I was just asking, just like that, because you were friendly with her. I thought you might know. Those papers you once sent through me, who were they for? Her curiosity was getting dangerous. Those were property papers for this house. I transferred it to her name. Nasira's mouth fell open. Then she composed herself and said, But, sir, this house belongs to Sekinder Saab. Yes, but I didn't know it then. Have you told anyone that you took the papers to her? Nasira touched her ears. Never, sir. I did not tell Sekinder Saab anything. And it's best for you not to say anything. Just keep your mouth shut. If my father gets to know, he'll throw you out lock, stock, and barrel. You know his temper. Now leave. Salar spoke tersely. Nasira left without a word. On the weekends, sometimes he used to go hiking in the Margala Hills. That wasn't a weekend, but he felt like going anyway. As usual, he parked the car at the foot of the hills, and a small bag slung over his shoulder, he went off. He turned back, giving himself enough time to get to the car before dark. It would have taken him 2 hours, so he came onto a path used by many people. He had barely gone a few yards when he heard footsteps behind him. He turned around and saw 2 boys. They were fairly far from him, but were moving fast. He turned away and continued his trek downward. By their appearance, the boys did not look shady. Dressed in jeans and t-shirts, they looked like anyone else. But as he walked, he felt someone quite close behind him. He suddenly turned and was dumbstruck. They were facing him, revolvers in hand. Hands up or we'll shoot you, one of them shouted. Salar lifted up his arms. One of them went behind him, dragging Salar, tried to push him to the ground. He tottered on his feet but did not lose his balance. This way. Salar moved in the shown direction without putting up any resistance. They wanted to get him away from the path so that they were not confronted by anyone coming that way. The boys propelled him towards the bushes and the undergrowth. Kneel down, one of them harshly ordered. Salar obeyed them. He knew that they would snatch his belongings, cell phone, money, and would let him off. He didn't want to do any such thing that would provoke them to harm him. One of the boys went behind Salar and took the backpack off his back. There was a camera, a few rolls of film, battery cells, a pair of first aid kit, water, some snacks, and his wallet. The boy who took the bag fished through the items in it. Then he surveyed the contents of the wallet, some cash and his credit card. Next, he pulled out the packet of tissues and the first aid kit. Now get up, the boy ordered Salar. He stood there, arms still raised. The boys went behind and began to probe the pockets of his Bermudas. He pulled out the car keys. Good, he has a car. Now Salar was beginning to get worried. Look, you can take my stuff, but leave the car. For the first time, he addressed them. Why? Why leave the car? Are you my cousin that I should leave the car with you? The boy spoke roughly. Even if you tried to take the car, you'd have many problems. There are all kinds of locks in it. That's our problem, not yours. The other boy stepped up and snatched Salar's sunglasses. Take off your joggers. My joggers? For what? But instead of replying, the boy slapped Salar with all his might. Salar staggered at the blow. Don't ask again. Just take off your joggers. Salar gave him a baleful look. The boys cocked their revolvers at him menacingly. The one who had hit Salar slapped him again on the other cheek. Stare again? Will you? Your joggers, he demanded without looking at him. Salar slowly took off his shoes. He had only his socks. Now, your shirt. Salar wanted to protest, but he wasn't ready for any more beating. If they were not armed, Salar could easily have taken care of them as he was physically bigger and stronger, but unarmed, he felt vulnerable. He took off his shirt and held it out. Throw it down. Salar did so. The boy then pulled something out of his trouser pocket. It looked like a ball of thin nylon twine. Salar at once understood their intention and was very disturbed. It was getting on toward sunset, and shortly it would be dark. How would he get out of there? "Look here, don't tie me up. You can take my bag and my car. I won't tell a soul," he said defensively. Without a word, the boy swung around and punched Salar in the stomach. Salar doubled up with pain and a stifled cry escaped him. No suggestions. The boy then pushed Salar hard to one side. Salar, feeling excruciating pain, blindly did as he was ordered. The boy sat Salar against a tree trunk and very deftly started to tie his wrists behind the slim trunk with the twine. The other boy stood at some distance, calmly looking around, but with the revolver aimed at Salar.